We've owned this RV for exactly 1 year. Let's RV 9,300 miles and go see Alaska, they said. Are we ready? We're about to find out.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be on a cruise right now.
First, there's 1,400 miles of unknowns between home in Arizona to Montana, where we're meeting the rest of our Alaska caravan. And here's the most ridiculous part. Our biggest trip was a practice run to Texas, and that was just 1,800 miles in 5 days. He's from Brooklyn. Give him a break. Oh no! And he gives up. Now we're RVing for months. What could possibly go wrong? Yikes, is that milk? Oh my God. We planned everything, bought everything, and thought we covered every possible scenario. But did we? With Alaska still more than 2,000 miles away, we are questioning our brilliance. Or is this the craziest thing we will ever do? And spoiler alert, some of the things we worried about never happened. But some of the things we never thought to worry about, oh yeah, those absolutely happened. Welcome to day one, everyone. Welcome. Alaska starts right now. So come on already, let's go. We're on the road. We left this morning after we got married yesterday. Ah! Nothing says relaxing honeymoon more than a 9,300 mile road trip, right? Day one, 5 stops to get to our caravan and the Canada border, and right now Alaska still feels very far away. This is an expensive little Alaska journey we've got here for 2.5 months. Tonight comes Alaska Test 1, our first ever harvest host. No familiar campground, no traditional RV site, just us trying to figure it out as we go. Wow, look at that view. Look how beautiful it is out here. This is Paria Ranch, a beautiful horse ranch in Paria Canyon, Utah, and our first harvest host stop. Utah is beautiful. Well, part of Utah. Look at all of these camp spots they have on their ranch. Oh, I love it here. We need a spot with hookups, but we also need water. So we're always gonna back up and we're gonna take this E2 here because it has water. Watch that picnic table. These quick release attachments for your freshwater hose are so handy. It allows you to just pop the hose off without having to untwist it each time, but be sure to bring extra washers. I'm just leaking everywhere. So what exactly is Harvest Host? Instead of just another campground you can stay at, think wineries, farms, breweries, distilleries, museums, golf courses, and some seriously unexpected places. Buy dinner, a bottle of wine, local products, or even an activity. And in return, you get a unique place to stay the night. Incredible. The hosts are typically highly responsive, and some even respond the same day. Stay tuned to see all the harvest hosts we stayed at throughout this full trip. It definitely turned our "where are we sleeping tonight" into "where do we get to sleep tonight." Great job.
Great job. Pro hooking up.
We did. That was like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We followed our checklist and we are off. Goodbye, Paria Ranch, and this beautiful canyon we're in. And next stop, Provo, Utah, Elks Lodge. If you haven't seen the national parks in southern Utah, add them to your bucket list stat. With as little as 750 miles, you can loop from Page to Zion, Bryce, Goblin, Moab, and back to Page. And those might be some of the best 750 miles you ever drive. Walking into Bryce Canyon the first time, the breathtaking landscapes, the backdrop for my son's wedding, and Dead Horse State Park all made me cry like a little girl. Side note here, stop at Mystic Hot Springs. I am literally on the side of a mountain in a giant porcelain tub that's being filled with natural hot springs water. I mean, what the heck? And that's not dirt on the bathtub, it's calcium. Still one of the most surreal things I think I've ever done. Wow. tip number 1, this is an easy one. Get a mountain directory. It's a paper atlas that details mountain grade and difficult roads. When you're towing 10,000 pounds, knowing how to get down the other side is kind of a thing. Mountain grades freak me out. The comfort this book and our exhaust brakes bring me is indescribable. Throughout this journey, we've learned hundreds of things and changed how we approach 9,300 miles. And stay with us because a couple of the biggest lessons, we learned those the hard way. Oh, I hate bridges. Oh, I hate bridges. I hate driving over bridges. But just for you. Wow. Fuel stops are no longer about finding diesel. They're about finding diesel you can actually get into and, more importantly, get out of, all while finding the cheapest gas. And here's a bonus for you. Download all the major fuel apps like Love's, Mavericks, etc. Even 2 cents cheaper gas matters. The apps always show fuel prices, discounts, DEF availability, and even food deals. I think gas is such an adventure for us. Was so excited to use our open road card, and Maverick doesn't take open road. And then it's asking for our odometer, it's asking for all kinds of information, so we had to go inside anyway. But we got it. Travel tip number 2. I'll share more on this throughout the trip, but this is the open roads card I was referring to it. And when you are in the area where the gas stations participate in open roads, it's, quote, the best way to save on diesel gas, period. Cell service on the road is a luxury. Screenshot your routes before you lose service. Cross-check your route against RV Trip Wizard to ensure the road is RV appropriate. The shortest route isn't always the best route when you're dragging your house with you. More on Trip Wizard later. So we just passed the Bryce Canyon turnoff, which if you've never been to Bryce Canyon, holy beautiful, gotta go. But now this is all new, uncharted territory for us. The rest of Utah, Idaho, Montana, and oh my gosh, we're so excited! We saw our very first Harvest Host stop. What did we think?
Perfect what we needed to recharge because we're driving today again.
And we loved it. It was pretty and a beautiful view. Wait, is that Butch Cassidy's family home? Before he was the infamous Butch Cassidy, he was Robert Leroy Parker, and he lived in this tiny Utah cabin from about the age 13. Even crazier, this is where he met ranch hand Mike Cassidy, a former horse thief who became his mentor. Robert eventually adopted the Cassidy name and became Butch Cassidy. Now I know why we didn't go any further than the Bryce Canyon turnoff, because it hasn't been very pretty after that. While we're out here in not so pretty land, let's talk about trip planning. No road trip is a road trip or a good road trip without a lot of detailed planning, in my opinion. We started as a caravan planning over a year ago. Using shared access to RV Trip Wizard and Google Sheets was a godsend. We also blocked our calendars for joint WhatsApp calls to book the national park reservations. The national park camp spots are gone like that. So it's super important that you are online the second they are released, and whoever was the first one to get in to get access to the sites booked all of them for us. We combined efforts as the items we would potentially need. All the items we purchased are on my Amazon storefront. I slowly checked them off my list. I absolutely love this Clear app on my phone. It allows me to make lists and check them off as I go. I left some love notes for our bestie to water all of our plants, and we're as ready as we're ever gonna be, or so we think. I highly recommend any AI app. I pay for ChatGPT, and it's incredibly helpful in so many ways. Quirky, off the beaten path must-sees, recommendations, problem solving, fun facts, historical facts. What is this that I'm looking at? I can't recommend an AI app highly enough. Travel tip number 4. Plan how far you will drive each day but have options. Some days you simply aren't going to be feeling it. 4 hours on Google Maps does not mean you are arriving in 4 hours. Fuel, food, bathroom stops, construction, weather, wildfires. Suddenly your 4-hour drive ate up your whole day. We'll relearn this over and over with the insane roads in Canada and Alaska. Our driving plan is to do about 4 to 6 hours of driving each day. Another first for us tonight, the Provo Elks Lodge. And the Elks Lodge is probably something a lot of you already know about, but for us newbies, it's a first. If you RV and you're not an elk, run and join your local Elks Lodge today. Having access to lodge RV parking is priceless. Some lodges have hookups, food, and a bar, and stays can be inexpensive. Not every lodge offers RV parking though. You can't reserve the spots, so you can always call the morning of and just get an idea of how many people are there. You really just have to roll in. Most of the Elks Lodges, if the designated spots are full and you're just staying overnight, will let you stay in the parking lot as well. What do you think of the Elks Lodge in Provo?
That's got to be the largest lodge I've seen right in the heart of the city. Great RV spots.
Yeah, there were 5 hookup spots with water. They also had 3 more non-hookup spots.
Nice bar inside. We went in, had a couple of beers.
A couple of much needed beers.
But very friendly people, very nice.
Yes, very nice. But will they all be this great? Travel tip number 5. Have a wildly varied music playlist.
She's like, we would doubly blast.
An hour 5 in complete silence is also a perfectly acceptable alternative. Just me admiring my wedding ring. Our first wildlife sighting? Wildlife count 1. Alaska training is officially underway. 30 seconds of fun facts about Idaho. A third of America's potatoes come from Idaho. Hell's Canyon is deeper than the Grand Canyon. The world's first chairlift was installed in Sun Valley Ski Resort in 1936. Apollo astronauts train on the crater of the moon as it's so accurately close to the moon's surface. The dog park B&B is a 30-foot beagle you can sleep in. So pretty. Looks like Ireland. Have lots of great car food and snacks. The car question of the moment is, do car snacks stand up to regular snacks, or is this just car crap? So what do we think? I'm just not sure about the cheddar and the caramel together. It is the salt sugar thing, but the cheddar kind of throws it off.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, he's a fan. Never underestimate how emotionally invested 2 adults can be in their car food. A little exploring of Pocatello before we settle into our second Elks Lodge. Will Elks Lodge number 2 be as good as our first?
Glad we dumped what we did.
Why?
I mean, this thing backed up
Till we got to Butte, Montana. Butte, but it's Butte to us if we were talking about dump. Fun night hanging out, eating and drinking with the Pokies.
By never knowing which road you're choosing.
Oh, our little road mascots. Have a checklist you follow every single time you unhook and hook. There's so much happening that triple checking the list can keep you from missing something important. And remember my Clear app. I'm pretty sure I did it is not an RV procedure. Bye, Elks. How many days of sun will we have?
40.
Oh, I hope we have 40 days of sun. I'm gonna say 45. How much driving will Leslie do while Roy's driving right now?
Well, I do want to live.
Oh, you're hilarious.
And so the proportion of days you drive increases our chances of not living 10%.
I'm gonna drive 6 days out of 63. No, but that means we have 50.
And if I was going to let you drive more than that,
Let me drive.
I don't want anyone to know.
I will definitely drive more than that. I'll say 10 days. What do you think our biggest challenge is gonna be?
Extreme boredom.
Oh no, that is not possible. I'm gonna say solar if we're not in a hookup campground. Big question, big question. Will we have any police involvement?
No.
No.
guessing no.
If we are, hopefully they're cute police officers. What do you think we'll spend the most money on?
Alcohol.
No, ready? Oh, that. Gas.
Yes.
This is an expensive little Alaskan journey we've got here. What did you think Idaho would look like?
Yeah, this is Idaho and my dreams.
It is?
Yeah, well, my nightmares, I think.
Exactly what you thought Idaho would look like.
One big, long, hundreds of acres, thousands of acres, millions of acres of potatoes. And nothing else going on.
Fields and fields and fields of green.
Broken up by a tractor.
Look to your left. Look to your right.
Oh,
Pocatello, Idaho, for Elks Lodge number 2.
it was advertised as having 2 RV spots with power, and it didn't. So they let us kind of park in a corner.
The little old town was really cool at Pocatello. That Elks Lodge, though, I don't think would be recommended to camp there.
But you're right next to a train station.
The people were incredible. That lodge was so welcoming, and they were so excited to see us from Arizona. Thank you, Elks, so far. We're grateful. Day 4 is potentially bucket list worthy. We're staying in Butte, Montana, but do we add an hour side trip to finally see one of my bucket list destinations? Bozeman! Oh, but with all the driving already, do we go? Travel tip number 9. Have multiple navigation map options. We have the Mountain Directory, plus Google Maps, plus Apple Maps, and RV Trip Wizard. One of the things I love is being able to plan around roads that may not be appropriate for RV travel. Nothing adds more excitement to a road trip than screaming, "We are not fitting down there, don't go that way." Do you have 30 seconds of Montana fun facts? I'm glad you asked. Montana is the 4th largest state in America. It's larger than Germany. There's more cattle than people. It's one of the largest grizzly populations in the lower 48. It's the big sky state for obvious reasons. Several towns have elected dogs as honorary mayors. Butte, our stop tonight, was once the richest hill on earth, and Glacier National Park once had more than 150 glaciers. Second wildlife sighting, Alaska. Wildlife training is progressing nicely. Bozeman remains a bucket list item for another day. Instead, we set up at the Butte KOA and explore Butte. And here comes another lesson this trip will teach us over and over. You can't see everything. Sometimes the hardest travel decisions are knowing which things to skip. Bozeman, we'll be back for you. Butte was once called the richest hill on earth because beneath the city is an unbelievable concentration of copper, silver, and gold. But mining left behind something pretty unbelievable, the Berkeley Pit. It's roughly a mile long, half a mile wide, filled with hundreds of feet of acidic, metal-contaminated water. The water is so problematic, they actually use programs to discourage migrating birds from landing on it. A beautiful, much-needed dinner at Butte's famous Casa Granda's in the old Bertaglio warehouse. This building dates back to the 1900s. The restaurant has several invoices from the Bertaglios displayed on the walls, and the old Highlander beer advertising is still visible outside. So cool. Such a great stop in Butte. Normally, arriving in Montana would feel like we had driven so far from home. This time, Montana isn't the destination. It's definitely the starting line. We had already driven more than 1,000 miles, and the adventure we came for hadn't even technically started yet. That realization hits hard. I've watched way too much Yellowstone, as this is not at all what I thought Montana would look like, but maybe that's lesson number 10. Leave your expectations at home. Because one lesson I still hadn't learned, even by the time we turned around to come home, was this. Alaska, Canada, Montana, none of it looked exactly like I imagined. Was it better? Was it worse than I thought? That is a good segue to remind you to subscribe, because we have 7,900 miles more to go, covering Canada, British Columbia, Yukon, and all of Alaska. So you don't want to miss a single bit of it. And hit the bell, it'll remind you when I post the videos. And thank you, as always, for being here. Your time is valuable, and I'm so grateful you spend it with me. Yes, that's milk. Travel tip number 10.
Oh my God.
extra secure your fridge. These $2 tension rods are a lifesaver. Just remember to add more than you think you need. The entire gallon of milk fell out and shattered when it hit the floor. I was mopping milk for weeks. All of our RV must-haves are in my Amazon storefront. And there it is, the sign we've been driving towards for 5 days, Cut Bank, Montana. Do you see the wind indications on the weather app there? It should have looked like this. Holy wind. And this was a legit question for chat. I was so worried about that guy up there. Somewhere during these 5 days, something changed. The truck feels a little less intimidating, the fifth wheel feels a little more like home, and maybe, just maybe, we're starting to believe that we can actually pull this off. 5 days down, 2,000 miles still between us and Alaska. Canada border crossing, here we come. Shh. We thought these 5 days taught us a lot. Canada, British Columbia, and the Yukon are about to humble these two RVers in ways we never saw coming. You're not going to want to miss our first national park in Canada. And until then, bye for now.